Welcome to Super Rant Season 1 Doomsday Preppers. Here we rewatch superhero movies to explore how they build towards bigger stories, starting with Avengers Doomsday and the MCU. Welcome to Super Rant. This is the podcast where we watch TV and movies as we prepare for other movies. This is Season 1, Doomsday Preppers. We are watching the MCU as we are headed into Doomsday Year.
My name is Kevin. I'm a lead writer for Screen Rant, covering all things superheroes, Star Wars, and a whole lot more.
And my name is Brian, and I am happy to be here. Today, we are looking at Captain America, the first Avenger from 2011, which is crazy that it was that long ago.
Yeah. 15 years ago.
Yeah, but this is the first movie to the start of my favorite MCU trilogy. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. And yeah, let's just get into it real quickly. Yeah,
all
let's
right.
hit it.
Give me your favorite thing about this movie.
I mean, my favorite thing about this movie is really just my favorite thing with Phase 1 in general. It's just that it feels so different from the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, Iron Man is set apart from Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk is set apart from Thor. And Captain America is set apart from all of them. And it's this really great period piece, where maybe it's not like a perfect representation of World War II, but they do something that is wildly different.
Yeah.
And this one...
World War II in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, and you know, it's really cool because you get these awesome sets, and you get this like great music, and the costuming is great, and Chris Evans was a great pick for this movie. The acting in general is really good, and I just my favorite thing about this movie is just how unique it feels among Phase 1 movies.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it just comes down to the character himself, Steve Rogers. There is not a more inspiring or impressive strength of moral character superhero that we have in MCU's Phase 1 than him. He's the best. He's the top tier.
You know, he's the one, not a perfect man, but a good man. You know,
absolutely.
And I think what makes him so compelling too is that nothing about him is an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like the super soldier serum, that was a choice that he and the government took to become a super soldier.
Yeah, he chose to volunteer.
Right,
yeah.
and he was chosen for his character. And, you know, there is the bit where he's, you know, doing like the sideshow kind of...
The propaganda.
The propaganda bit.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, that's not quite the route that was intended. But then he chooses to leave that route and become truly Captain America.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And so
yeah.
I think that every action that he takes is so deliberate, and that's what makes him inspiring, is because it's always for the good of other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always selfless actions, and I'm going to do what's right no matter the cost.
Yeah.
And we see that, you know, so often throughout all of the Marvel movies that he's in. We see it in Winter Soldier and the Avengers and Age of Ultron and Civil War, especially, is when that characteristic really shines. But that's why he's a compelling character, because he is morally obligated and he cannot stop himself from being compelled to do the right thing.
Yeah. Rewatching this, because we just recently rewatched it, What was something that struck out to you, or stuck out this time compared to other times you've seen it in the past?
Well, let me look at my notes here. I just think that it was so deliberately not just, okay, we're not going to just tell this story. We're going to tell the story of this character, but he needs to also be a character that fits into the Avengers narrative that we're about to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I pick up on certain things, like the way that he views the world and the way that he interacts with, you know, he's got this team of, you know, other army guys.
Oh, the Howling
Commandos.
Yeah, Howling Commandos.
He's got the Howling Commandos, and it's like they work together as a unit.
Yeah.
And they're all soldiers, and they're all, one-minded, and they do what they got to do. And then we get to Avengers, and now Steve Rogers has to deal with
a brand new team.
A Tony Stark and a Thor, and people who aren't used to playing on the same team. Some people don't even want to be there, like Bruce
conflicting
Banner.
Personalities.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, how is he going to become a new kind of Captain America while still keeping the same,
having that cohesion with the team?
And to bring it back to the point is that's what stood out to me from this movie is that he is this character, right? He's the same character now, and he has the same convictions now that he does in Civil War and in Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh, the consistency is what is so impressive.
Right.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you there.
And so to take it to Doomsday, right at the end of Endgame, we see him go back in time and live his life with Peggy. But what happens when there is a reality-shaking crisis?
Yeah.
And he feels morally compelled to do what he feels is the right thing.
Yeah.
And that brings him back to the conflict.
Especially if kind of like what we're expecting, like if he has some sort of inadvertent like fault behind whatever's wrong with the multiverse, like his decision to go back in time created an incursion, whatever it might be. Yeah, he's going to feel the need to, not only like protect those he loves, but try and set things right, because there's going to be that moral compulsion to do so. I think that's gonna be
absolutely.
It's gonna be really interesting to see how he factors into Doomsday. Something that struck out to me, and I think it's my favorite scene in the entire movie, and it's before he even gets the super soldier serum. It's when Tommy Lee Jones, the general, he throws the dummy grenade,
and he jumps.
Everyone jumps away. He jumps on it to protect everyone else, and that is literally. It's so economic because in this few seconds of this one scene, everything you need to know about Steve Rogers' Captain America.
Yeah.
And that one scene informs every other decision he's going to make going forward in the MCU.
Yeah.
All the way to him picking up a hammer. Right? Because all the way back, World War II, during his training with the SSR, he was willing to throw himself and sacrifice himself for others.
Which is just what we see happen in Thor. Because when Thor becomes worthy in Thor, it's because he sacrifices himself for the people he cares about.
You don't get much more worthy than that. And it's... I love... That's why, like, even if we weren't doing this podcast, why I'm always going to rewatch Marvel movies. Because the way that things inform more recent stuff... The way that more recent stuff calls back to earlier stuff, it is flipping fantastic. I love it.
Well, it's the
so
reason why the MCU has garnished the fan base that it has.
Yeah.
Is because it rewards people for rewatching.
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Avengers is the end of Phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not including that movie, with these 5... MC movies that we've watched so far in Phase 1.
Yeah.
Rank them. Starting with 5, going to 1.
Oh, man. Not including Avengers.
Not including Avengers. So between Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America: The First Avenger.
Okay. I'm going to do it really quick, because if I think about it, I'm going to second guess myself. I'm going to say Iron Man is number 1.
No, start with 5 and go number 1.
Oh, my goodness. Thor is number 5.
Okay.
Then Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Then Iron Man 2. Then Captain America. Then Iron Man as the top.
Okay. I think I'm basically the same, but I swap Incredible Hulk and Thor. So Incredible Hulk at the bottom. Then Thor. Then Iron Man 2, Captain America, Iron Man 1.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, Iron Man... That just is... It defines the MCU. Mm-hmm. And it's such a good movie. I could watch that movie every day for the rest of my life. Like, when I talk about my top 5 list of MCU movies, Iron Man 1's in there, but I'm not sure Captain America is. Winter Soldier That's way up
Yeah,
there.
well, with Winter Soldier, you get the Russo brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
Although I will say, like, I really enjoy that they spend the bulk of its time in World War II in the 1940s. Yeah. It really helps you feel like the MCU is more like lived in and established. There's history. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. We get to see more of that like down the line, like we do like Captain Marvel, and it was like in the 90s. So I think that's that's like cool stuff like that is, pretty fun.
You mentioned like the time period.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that I don't enjoy about this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of like when movies start at a certain place in time and there's some big reveal or something happens and then it goes back in time to explain how they got there.
Really?
I'm not a fan. So like I get why they did it in this movie, and narratively I guess it works.
I think there's examples. There's examples that I don't like, but I get what you're saying. But with this one, I feel like it really does work.
Well, I just like. From the beginning, you know that Captain America is going to end up in the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, like, if you're a comic book fan, you already know that. Right. But, like, if you're going into this movie
I think that's what they were leaning on.
Well, but if you're going to this movie fresh, right? And I'm a big proponent that if you're going to make a movie like this, you can't just make it for the nerds. Which I think is a problem that the MCU is dealing with now. I think it maybe caters too much to the nerd side of things, and
Sure.
And that's maybe a thing that Star Wars has going for it too. There's too many unique characters that are referenced, but whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. But you go into this movie and you're watching it, and it's like, oh, Captain America's in the ice, and so then for the next hour and a half of your life where he's going, where he's headed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just, the ending should always be an unknown to me.
Okay.
Right? Like, what was so compelling about Infinity War is you didn't know what was going to happen at the end of it. And there are other movies that do that too, where they bring something up. And this one isn't so, like, harsh. Like, it makes a lot of sense, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have preferred this movie started with the scene in Norway.
Oh, with Red Skull.
With Red Skull.
Getting the Tesseract.
The Tesseract.
I mean,
I think that would have been a much bolder way to start. Whereas where it has, like, instead of having the scene with the ice, it's like, oh, this is modern times. And then it kind of eases you into the World War, which, again, I get. I would have just rather, like, let's jump in, let's do it, let's
sure.
Keep going,
Yeah. I will say, for my part, one more thing. Another thing that did strike me was how well cast this movie is.
Oh, yeah.
I could not find a single actor that I was like, meh. Every single one is great. Stanley Tucci's great. Hugo Weaving's great.
Hugo Weaving
is a great Red Skull.
Red Skull's character design is top notch in this movie.
It's excellent.
I would be hard pushed to find another villain in the MCU who, when you look at him, you're like, that's an evil dude.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, very well done. Very well translated to live action. But as far as what I didn't like, I think I mentioned to you this while we were watching, but there's a lot of montages.
Yeah,
and I get they have a lot of ground to cover, but like we get a montage where he's training with the SSR. We get another montage with the propaganda and the Star Spangled Banner song, which I think actually I would keep that one maybe.
Well, okay, so
then we get like the other montage, which is where we get a lot of like the standard typical action you would expect from Captain America, where he's a real captain, he's got the super soldier, he's with the Howling Commandos, but when you put them all together, I feel like that's just a lot of montages.
It is a lot of montage.
I maybe take out. You could either shrink the propaganda one and it's just the song and it's maybe just a couple, or you get rid of that first one, make that one shorter, because it feels excessive to me.
Yeah, I think you're right. And again, we're nitpicking.
Yeah, it was to find something that we don't like.
This is a great movie.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You mentioned the Star Spangled Man. I wonder if it would have maybe even been better had they used the theme song from like the original show.
Oh, that's
like when Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Well, yeah, and they have like the issue #1 where he's punching. Yeah, like the actual comic book cover.
It
could have worked. It could have worked. That could have been fun.
Anyways,
yeah.
Last thing I want to say on this is my opinion that this movie has the best post-credit scene in the history of the MCU.
It's pretty good.
Because it's a trailer for the Avengers.
Yeah.
We get to see on screen for the first time a trailer for Avengers. I remember being in the theater. We went for my birthday. We saw it in IMAX.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there with my friends, and you were there, and parents were there, and sister was there. And I remember seeing this and just leaving the theater.
So stoked.
It's
fun. Like it is a hype machine. Just to see the heroes on screen together for the first time. It's the first big crossover. You got Sam Jackson as Fury. He's on the helicarrier. It's great.
Loved it. Great. And it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like how many other times where like the post-credit scene was like a trailer for an upcoming movie. Yeah. And I think it might just be Spider-Man No Way Home and the setup for Multiverse of Madness, because that's basically a trailer.
There are some post credits that are literally just like scenes from movies. Yeah. So I think of like Ant-Man having the post credits scene, which is just a scene from Civil War.
Yeah, just straight up. Yeah.
I think I think it is No Way Home that is just literally the setup for.
Yeah, I want to look into it, but I'm pretty sure. The other thing I didn't like was the on the big hydroplane and all the bombs and it's written in big white letters each of the cities the bombs are going towards, but they're written in English. Makes no sense.
Well, it's so
other than for the audience, but we didn't need to know that because we knew they were already going to major cities.
It's so comic booky.
I feel like that is the most comic booky moment in the entire movie, in my opinion.
The best moment in the movie, though, is in that third montage when he throws the shield directly at the camera.
Yeah.
They've used that scene so many times, and that's because that is the best scene.
It's pretty great.
When you think of Captain America, you think of that scene.
I wanted to ask you, when Cap and Red Skull are fighting on the plane, right before, he gets sucked up by the Tesseract.
Great payoff, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We get the great payoff in Infinity War and all that. But he says to Captain America, "I've seen the future, Captain. There are no flags."
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about Falcon Winter Soldier and the Flag Smashers. Ooh. And there were no flags. Supposedly what we were told was that there really weren't any flags during the 5-year
everybody decimation. Came together. And
people were living in different areas, and those people were gone. So other people moved in, and borders were less strict. And it's like, okay, was that the future that Red Skull is alluding to?
He was more thinking like him on the pile of ashes.
I think it's just kind of more of like a coincidental lead of like when the world was at its lowest.
Yeah. But as we look ahead to Doomsday, I have to see just Steve Rogers' moral code is going to be his driving force. And if we look at the comics and we look at some of the decisions that the Illuminati had to make and that Captain America had to make about literally saving their own reality and condemning another one.
Yeah, so it was
his moral code is going to be
The prelude to Secret Wars in the comics was called Time Runs Out, and basically it was like a gradual death of the multiverse where worlds were crashing into each other with the incursions, which is a big word we hear in the multiverse saga. And it was happening kind of one by one, and whenever like 616 got threatened, the Illuminati created a device just to destroy it. And I remember there's this crazy line from Black Panther where he's got the device to destroy this other world before it destroys theirs, and I think it's Beast who's like, "What are you waiting for?" And Black Panther says, "I'm remembering who I used to be." And then it's like just such a, like they're just, it's obviously it's just like self-preservation.
Well,
but it's brutal. And I'm so curious because we've got these X-Men from another reality. We have the Fantastic Four from a different reality. We have the Avengers and the new Avengers from the main reality. And it's like, okay, are they gonna fight because they're trying to protect their own world?
What decisions are they gonna have to make, and what kind of tragedy will have to take place in order for other people to survive?
I mean, think about
what kind of choices are gonna be
made. Yeah. Think about what Captain America says in Infinity War when Vision wants to give
lives.
He wants to give himself up. What if you have to?
What if that's the only?
What if that you? Oh my gosh! So. When the scale goes up so crazy, what if you... Oh my gosh, it's going to be nuts.
Anyways, looking forward to Avengers next week. It's going to be great.
Yeah, first Avenger is a great setup.
There's never a bad time to watch the first
It's
Avengers
a great setup, especially if you're like we are. Next week we're going to watch it, but the Avengers, it's going to be awesome. I'm stoked for a movie that came out 14 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Don't say that.
It's going to be great.
All right, hit us with the news, Kevin.
Okay, just a few things. Originally Doomsday was going to come out in May.
Ugh.
And now it's been moved to December. But what that means is we're starting to get kind of some merch a little bit earlier than anticipated.
I saw like a
keychain?
A keychain with like a keyboard button with Doom on it.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
And it definitely looks like that might be a first look at Doctor Doom. And if that's the case, I mean, that looks pretty solid to me. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing more detail, obviously, but that keychain went viral.
There are some like Lego set descriptions and stuff that have come out and some other stuff like that.
Yeah. Tombstone is confirmed for Spider Noir. So he's gonna be, I think, one of like Silvermane's enforcers with like their version of Sandman. So it's like a 1930s version of Tombstone. But I realized all 3 Spider-Man projects releasing this year are going to have Tombstone in it. So Tombstone in Spider Noir, Tombstone in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is like that high school version.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's good for Tombstone. He's kind of become more of a bigger deal in the comics.
Well, I think the when the Spectacular Spider-Man show came out, and they used him a lot.
Because he was really good in that, too.
Yeah, he was really good in that. I think he gained a lot of popularity from that show.
Yeah. Paul Bettany teased this week that, like, James Spader is coming back as Ultron. We kind of knew that, but he's like, don't worry, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
He's like... He had some cool comment about, like, the MCU is best when they do big swings. And so these, like, Vision Quest is going to have big swings.
Yeah, dude, that Captain America was a big swing. Thor was a big swing.
Absolutely. Lewis Pullman played the Sentry in Thunderbolts.
Yep.
He did an interview, was saying that he's very happy with what the Russo brothers have done with Doomsday, where there's like over 25 heroes, but no one feels like they're just in the background.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going to get their time to shine. And he's like, it's really cool to see these like fantasy team ups come to fruition. Like, how would Subject A interact with Subject B? And so like, that was kind of cool to hear of like, it's gonna be sweet.
Well, that's
especially
what Avengers, that's what Avengers movies are for.
Yeah, and Avengers and X-Men and Fantastic Four. It's gonna be great.
So cool.
We are like just over a week away from Daredevil season 2, so there's a lot of promotion and hype. I saw a newer teaser that it was kind of like Kingpin focused, where he was giving like an address, and it's like the battle lines are being drawn. There's a great shot of Matt Murdock, Jessica Jones, Karen Page, and then there's a whole crowd behind them, and they're wearing Daredevil masks. So it's like, think about like Netflix season 1, where Daredevil is so on the fringes, and now he's got like this legitimate public following. It's like that is great evolution for the character, and that's gonna be really cool to see.
By the time this episode comes out, the Super Mario movie will be out. No, not this episode. Next episode.
Yes,
but it's coming. Super Mario movie's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing this last week was that we got Childish Gambino as Yoshi.
Oh yeah. You were thinking because they did Childish Gambino for the Daredevil trailers.
Well, yeah. And so it just came up. But like, I'm really excited for the Super Mario movie.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So that comes out in about a week and a half's time from right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Okay. I'm excited for it.
I have just one piece of DCU news, but it's cool. Aaron Pierre is gonna be part of the cast for Man of Tomorrow.
Oh,
so
cool.
Jon Stewart, Green Lantern.
Cool.
So we're gonna get him. He's gonna debut in Lanterns, and then next year he'll supposedly be in Man of Tomorrow.
Great.
I'm curious about what that means for Guy Gardner's Green Lantern.
I want them both to be in it.
I'm also curious about what that means because
Justice League.
He might be sharing some screen time with Hawkgirl.
Oh yeah.
And they've got their whole romance from the animated series and the comics a little bit.
That'd be cool.
I feel like that'd be really cool. I was actually the one thing I wanted more of in Superman was Hawkgirl because I thought she was really cool. And I feel like she's okay. I feel like compared to Guy Gardner and compared to Mr. Terrific, I feel like she got the least amount of screen time.
Yeah.
And she's got a really cool background.
Yeah.
With the whole reincarnation thing.
Well, if that's even the case in the DCU.
I think she confirmed it in an interview.
Oh, well.
And but they're doing the thing where it's like reincarnation, but one of those lives was like the alien Thanagar. Like how the comics combined the two origins.
Gotcha.
So I'd love to see more of that in like the DCU. But we'll see what happens. But that's about all the news I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it for today. Next week, again, we'll be watching Avengers from 2012, which is awesome.
We made it.
We're
still going.
We're cruising through phase 1, about to hit phase 2. But yeah, remember to watch that before next week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Super Rant Season 1 Doomsday Preppers. Look out for our following episode next Friday. And remember to watch the upcoming movie before listening. You can find a link to our watch schedule on our YouTube page.